Hello folks, Jonathan Milam here. I do hope you're having a great day. I've got a nice Bach Stradivarius, 37 bell, and if you look at it, oh my, somebody put a rod here. That probably means, and it does, we've got a tunable bell here. And what would a tunable bell horn be without an optional bell? So we've got a very nice 37 bell. In fact, I've always thought the 37 was a little boring. I preferred the 43 personally, but I've had some 72 lightweights I really liked, and recently a 25 large bore that I thought was fantastic. But this 37 has really impressed me. And we've got here a 43, however, in a new configuration. It's got a 5-inch bell flare and it's bronze. They used it on the commercial horn. Nice contrast with a brass 37 bell. Okay, I'm going to start playing right away. I'll be switching bells. I'll be switching tuning slides as well. And we'll switch mouthpieces. So we'll try and give you a full gamut of what these different options can do for a horn. But we're going to start out here, and this also has a Blackburn tuning slide. And the Blackburn tuning slide, the pluses of that, some people feel it's a little more clear sound, a little better intonation, a little quicker response, and it's really hard to compare one horn to another because the horns themselves have so many different facets. And if you've ever seen a trumpet made with all of the force that goes into it, but long story short, I do find this to be an impressive lead pipe. We'll start playing with a relatively large mouthpiece. As the 37 gives you a bigger sound, I'm going to be using a Trent Austin TATF. I call this a great soloist mouthpiece, and I really think it is. As we get into the 43 bell, I'll be using a slightly more lead type mouthpiece, and we'll go that direction. But we got 4 mouthpieces. We'll start with this, and I think I'm going to play Wouldn't That Be Loverly? Nice sound. Nice sound. Now I'm going to go to the deepest mouthpiece that I've got. If you're going to a gig and you don't have a flugel, but you do want the flugel sound, this is a great tool. It's a Bob Reeves 42 C2J, C2J, and should give a really nice hearty tone. And then we'll go to a more legit mouthpiece, and at last a lead mouthpiece, and switching bells in just a few minutes. nice mouthpiece. I hadn't been using this a whole lot recently. And then I was listening to a horn review that I'd made. I was going to make a new one. And I listened to that and I thought, boy, I ought to use that every time just to show how dark and mellow a horn can sound. Okay, now I'm going to go to a legit mouthpiece. I'm going to use this, then I'll switch bells, switch tuning slides, and I'll use it again. But nice, legit mouthpiece to my way of thinking. It's a Bob Reeves 42B. Really, I like all these mouthpieces. Just very, very nice pieces. Okay, tunable bell. Not sure who started putting these out, but the common thought is that the further to the bell you can get your tuning device, the better off your intonation is. And so they made the bell so that it would slide out. It's secured by 2 screws. You can see one here, and then you've got one down here. Oh, excuse me, one right here. And when they are loosened, I'm going to do this here. Just a little loosening there, a little loosening here. And you can see then how that the bell slides. Now, when it comes completely off, you'll see you've got a rail here. And of course, the beginning of the bell is the jut out of the first slide. So, if we're going to replace this, and you do want to be holding on to the body of the horn when you do it, well, you know what? While we've got this here, I will say it is so nice. I mean, here you go. There goes your tuning slide. So easy to clean a horn like this. Really, just another of the benefits there are with the tuning slide option. And since you've got that tuning slide and the bell is mobile on there, why not have the option for a second bell? So it does open some great options. Now on this trumpet, nice player, good valves. Let's see. First and second compression, and a nice little pop there on the second. There is somewhere, let's see if you can see that right here, and where they remove the brace, it's not uncommon to have just a little bit of lacquer where there may be some silver plate remaining. You see a little bit here, and where else did I see some? Okay, just mostly right here where the hand rests, and a little bit there. Used, but not abused. In fact, this is one of the smoothest third slides. Sometimes when I'm playing my D, I'll just let it just almost take itself out there, finding that perfect spot. Very nice, really. I believe the body of this horn is from the 90s. And of course, then you've got your Blackburn tuning slide here. Let's see if we can see the logo there. Okay, and I think where we've got the numbers. I believe the numbers are there. I'm not sure if you can see them, just right along here. Very nice setup, though. Very nice setup. And when we add the remaining bell, it gets real fun. Now, when you do put this on, of course, you want to try and, have it so that it's lined up pretty well. And having said that, I'll probably have fits with it. I wouldn't want to do this as a quick change. And once you've got this piece on, it'll go all the way up and down. You just line up your rail here, and you're good to go. Now, logistically, what you want to do is get most of your tuning here. And so if you usually leave your tuning slide out, can you see that about that much? You'd want to double that now because there's only one leg to this. Oh, at any rate, we'll tighten these up and we're good to go. Okay, get the tuning slide all the way there. Now, I'm going to go back to the 42B. With this 43 bell, should be a little more direct. And what the deal is, they're similar in this throat since this is a 5-inch flare instead of the 4 13/16 that most Bachs are. But what you'll notice on the 43 is a little bit thinner in the taper of the bell here. Little tighter blow, so it's a little more direct, little easier to fill, little greater projection. Theoretically, at least. And if you'd like to hear these played back to back, if you go down to the comments, the first line, any items that I have for sale. And if you go down to the bottom of the comments, I'll have each of the mouthpieces lined up so you can go just from one right to the next, compare them, listen back and forth, and see what a difference there is. Going to be more difference in the room here, and there's also going to be a difference in feel, where you might say, well, that 37 didn't sound a whole lot different than the other piece, but there really is some difference to it. Noticeable more in a large room and as you play the horn as well. Okay, now we can get my lip warmed up. We'll go back to Wouldn't That Be Lovely? We've got the bronze 43 bell on. We put a D slide here instead of the original Blackburn oval. And the Bob Reeves 42B. Okay, now I'm going to go for the last Monette BLM, and the L is for lead. I think, not sure what all that stands for, but at any rate, large throat. Thought it was 24, might be a little larger than that, might be a 23. And the Monette system is very interesting as you've got the larger, more open mouthpiece. It does take a little bit of acclimation. And really, each of these mouthpieces, the TATF that I started off with, probably a 23, 24, 25. It's hard to measure that one. The Reeves C2J, an 11 drill. The 42B, I think, is supposed to be about a 24 drill. So all of these are larger. My problem now is going to a really tight lead type ruins my mouth setup. But I think this will give us an idea. Quite a shallow cup and a good clear sound, I think, should really be a good match with the 43 bell and the D tuning slide. And on we could go, and probably should. Gives you an idea. Very nice horn, great tuning bell setup, and the options that you've got with the different slides. Generally, they say the D slide is going to give you a little sharper attacks and a slightly greater clarity of tone. And then the oval will give you a little less resistance, and generally it's assumed that that will give you a slightly darker tone as well. This horn probably be up for sale before long, and I'll tell you why. Not a problem with it, like both bells. I've got 3 other Strads, and I've got 2 extra Strad bells. And then I've got a Binge bell, I've got an Adams bell, and I've got a bell from Del Quadro. So I've got 5 bells that I need to, gonna take the 3 Strads that I've got, convert them to tuning bell setups because I really do like that. And then I'll have a plethora of, the 3 bells that are on here, the 5. So I'll have 3 Strads tunable bell with 8 bells total that I'll be working at. And in the next few months, I'll probably have to weed that down until I have 2 trumpets that I like and maybe 4 or 5 bells. But this one will probably be on the auction block almost immediately. Hope you've enjoyed the review. Enjoy the comments, folks. And as I always do say, take care of yourself and someone near you.